everybody, so I'm back with another video. I kind of wanted to go in the archives and share some of the old videos that I've taken and have not posted. And this is one of them. This Big Bend trip was an amazing adventure, an amazing mind reset. So this is very early into my relationship with my girlfriend, Jasmine, and we had such an amazing time. This is a very special moment in our lives put together, very special moment in our lives individually. But what I could truly say about this trip is that it is a trip that I highly recommend to anyone that's looking for kind of, like I said, that mental reset, that kind of just quiet, just peace and quiet. Enjoy this life that we all share together. Go out there in the desert, that Texas terrain, that kind of beautiful, rocky, tough, rugged, just hard terrain, and just enjoy it. Enjoy just the fresh air, the beautiful night sky. But yes, let me get into the video. Let me talk to you about my experience, and let's go from there. We planned this trip with the intention of just going out there and winging it. And yes, it worked. I'm alive, but I don't recommend it for anybody. Do recommend it if you just want to get out there, but it's very dangerous out there, meaning that you could bust a tire, you could be stranded for hours. If you don't have food and you're trapped in the heat, if you fall and you hurt yourself, it's a very dangerous environment. There's again, like I said, there's no one out there in certain areas of the park. So just like any park, you have to be careful. That's what makes it fun though. To me, that's what makes it fun. It puts all of it on you. You don't have a perfect paved road. You don't have a perfect sidewalk. You don't have all of these things in society that we have that make it so easy for us and easy for us to just have a very smooth life. I think every once in a while we have to get out there and just enjoy the grit and the grind of it all. So we planned this trip. I bought totes. I bought Blackstone. I bought a lot of camping gear, and not super expensive stuff, but I bought a good amount of stuff to where we could get out there, do some camping, and we could stay at it's called a casita in Terlingua. It's like an Airbnb type thing. It's just a small little one bedroom, one shower, and it has an outdoor shower, which was cool. But we'll get to that. There's bugs and a lot of stuff that's out there in that outdoor shower. But first, let's get started with the first part. So that's Thursday. Thursday we get out there. Sorry about the wind chime. Super windy today. Thursday we get out there. We drive the 6 to 7 hours. We get to Boquillas Canyon. That's the first stop. This spot, beautiful. Such a beautiful spot. I think it was like a half-mile walk to the canyon where you see the water, where you see the canyon area. But this was sunset. This was right before we were going to go set up camp. We were driving for hours, and it was such an amazing entrance. We got there. We met some people that were doing the hike as well. We met some people that were leaving, and both of these groups, they were just so excited to be there. One of them had been there multiple times, and he's from out of state. Him and his wife were from out of state, but they love to go visit. And they had only been to that part of the park a few times. They saw I had my guitar. Like I said, I brought a lot of stuff. Not a lot of stuff that was necessary, but I brought a lot of stuff. And he was telling me that there's a live music show in Terlingua and all this stuff. He got into it, and it was a really nice time. We did that hike. We got the pictures. We got some videos. We took a deep breath, and we made it to our destination. But yet we still had to set up camp. So that was next. So we found a camp at the Rio Grande Village, and this place was awesome. This place was for one the only one available, but it was awesome because it was very close to Boquillas Canyon. It was close to the Hot Springs Trail, and it was close to the start of the next day's adventure. But at this camp, what we did was I had a tent. It was I believe they call it a 3-person tent, but just a tiny little tent. And I asked Jasmine, my girlfriend, to bring a air mattress. She said, I believe her sister or her mom had one. And I was like, what are the dimensions? How big is it? She never let me know that. This tent or this mattress ended up taking up the whole tent. And we we had a very rough sleep because we had to deflate it for it to even fit in the tent. So this we were sleeping like kind of going into each other, and it was something, but it was a nice story. Throughout the night, apparently I was snoring, but also there were cows out there. I was passed out, but Jasmine, she recalls this. There was cows out there. There were javelinas or some sort of pigs. She heard coyotes, and we just heard a bunch of different animals. And it was just the night. It was just super cold. It was like freezing cold. I think it was like May. It went down to 39, maybe 40, and man, it was cold. Like I was very cold. When I did wake up, was those few times it was very cold. So we got our camp. We made some breakfast. One thing I forgot to mention is that we did make all of our food on the Blackstone. We prepped our food. We put things in Ziplocs, pretty much just meal prepped for the whole weekend. And it was good. I don't recall exactly what we ate. Maybe some of this video shows it, but we had an amazing cuisine mapped out for the weekend. Turned out great. All I had to do was put oil on the pan, get the heat started, and then just throw everything on there, get my spatula, drink a beer, and just have a great time. That was my favorite part because I could reflect on the day and kind of just quiet my mind. And that was such a amazing feeling for me. That was my kind of just relax, listen to some music, cook some food, and feel like, hey, camp is set, we're all eating. And it was something that I can't like fully explain like what that feels like. It's similar to just those videos that you see that guys, they just see a campfire and they're just like, hell yeah, brother, like this is awesome. So we get to the camp, or I'm sorry. So the next morning, we make our breakfast, we get started with our day. We drive around the park area just a little bit. We see a coyote kind of walking along the side. We get an alert that there's a coyote that's aggressive at the Chisos Basin, but luckily we weren't there. But that same morning, we see a coyote kind of just walking around, and that was pretty cool. We get gassed up. We're getting ready for a amazing adventure today. This is one of the adventures that I was really looking forward to, and this was Black Gap Road, and this is the 4x4 only high clearance like off-road trail that you have to take your vehicle out there that's suitable for all of that. So I, being the brave dude that I am, decided to get us out there by ourselves. I didn't air my tires down in the areas that I needed to. I did a lot of things wrong for this trail, and I regret that, but I don't at the same time, because I know that is only that experience, and making it out of that experience obviously like made me very strong as a person to not fear certain things, like not fear different trails. And I put it in a deeper perspective because it makes me feel good that I forgot to do a lot of things. But again, I'm cool for that. Black Gap Road, this is one that I believe is a very sought out trail in Texas. I believe it is because I kept on doing research on Big Bend trails in Texas, and this was the one that kept on coming up. This one challenged me heavily, very physically too, because the bumps out there, especially when you don't air your tires, you feel every bump. And similar to a speed bump, imagine your tires aired down, that speed bump's going to be a lot easier. But with all that air, you're bouncing over that speed bump, and there's bumps and rocks everywhere. There were a few areas that I hit the front. There were some areas that I hit the back, the tow hitch area. But overall, it's a beautiful, beautiful spot. I can't share enough content on how beautiful this is. At the time, I didn't have a camera with a longer focal view, but I took a lot of cool pictures out there, took a lot of cool videos, and hopefully you can see some right here. So we got to the sketchiest spot for me. We rounded a corner. A lot of these turns and vertical curves, like, they were very interesting because when you're going up and at an angle to the left, you have no idea what's on the other side. And again, nobody's on this road. It is starting to heat up. It's starting to get very hot. It's around 1 p.m., 2 p.m. It's starting to get really hot. You feel it in the truck. Another thing that was just kind of a luxury thing is that you don't have service out there. And another thing that I forgot was to download some like newer music on my phone. So I had a bunch of just old like EDM songs like playing in the background, and I don't know, it was just it was lame, but it was also cool because now we look at those songs and we remember where we were when we heard that song. But we rounded a corner, we got to a very one of the highest elevations that was on that trail, and you see the biggest drop off on the passenger side, and I was very scared. I was so scared. Can't even I I can't even hide that I was so scared. I started to have like a little bit of an anxiety attack. I was like, "Oh my god, okay. I forgot to do this. For some reason the wheels or the tire, it doesn't feel like a smooth ride like I thought it was. Like all the Toyota commercials said it was going to be a smooth ride because I forgot to air down the tires." But I get to that spot and there's a skinny like pass that you have to get through. And on that pass, so again, you're turning the corner and you're on that the cliff, like that ledge side, and you have to go through a skinny pass and then you go up. And going up is just rocky, like super rocky terrain, like big boulders that you have to go up after you pass the skinny part. And for me, I was like, we're gonna fall off the side. We're gonna all of these bounces, we're gonna fall off, and that's it. Like we're done. Like even if we slip, we're still falling down the mountain. Like we're gonna die. I was terrified. I was so scared. So this video shows kind of what's happening. I'm taking my time. I get across. I start to feel like those bumps again. You can see here in my tires. My tires were just completely full, like 35. Like they were just they were just really bad. So we get to the top, we get it done. We start to see the ledge on the side. There's more shoulder, I guess is what you could call it. There's more of that, and then it just feels a lot more peaceful. My everything's starting to calm down. My what's it called? My heart rate starts to go down. And then we see another car that's about to start that, and it's just a family. It's the dad and driving, and he's like, "Hey, how was that? Like, how was it? Like, how did it go?" And I was like, "Man, it was the scariest thing of my life. I was so scared." And he has him and his, I believe he had two daughters, but they were just about to start it, and I was like, "Man, I hope they're okay." They were in a Lexus, and I was like, "They should be fine. Like, they should be good." But we have somewhere to be, so we're gonna head out. So we kept going, and we finished up this Black Gap Road, Glen Springs Trail, and it was a amazing adventure. So I get to the so we get to the end of the trail. We finally hit pavement. We're exhausted. Our bodies are that last kind of stretch of 20 minutes, they were just exhausting. I did forget to mention one part of this trail was super, super beautiful. For some reason, I guess it was a low water. For some reason, like there was this like green vegetation area, and which was really cool. I had seen it in some of the Big Bend videos that I was looking at before, but it was cool. It was a nice break from just constant, just rock, just throwing our bodies left and right. We got through that, and our bodies were just done. Our bodies were ready for pavement and ready to go have dinner. We had snacks, but we were ready. We were done for the day. I get to we get to the pavement, we get out, and we just see the most beautiful sunsets ever. Like I can't even explain. Like these videos don't even do it justice how beautiful this sunset was. I don't think I can play the music, but I was playing like some Desvalado, Bobby Pulido, and like my life was just like complete. Like I just felt at peace. I felt like my ancestors were happy that I visited. My like family was just proud of me. I felt very complete. I felt there was a lot of like healing that happened during this sunset. And I don't know, comment below if you feel the same way. Like if you reach like a beautiful like destination, or you just see a beautiful sunset when you're out traveling. Like, do you ever get that same feeling where just like, oh my God, this is what I needed. I needed this. Like it felt amazing. We get to the town of Terlingua. So this means we leave the park. We get to Terlingua, which is on the west side of the park. And maybe, yeah, it's on the west side of the park. We get gas, go to our casita, and this place, it was so cool. And this spot, it was so cool. We got to have our own little patio area where we could make a fire. We set up our little spot we were going to cook outside. We walked in, and it's just these old doors that apparently were there for like hundreds of years, or maybe 100 years, maybe not hundreds of years. But you walk in and you just see like a nice comfortable bed. two nightstands with lights. It just felt very cozy. To the left, there was the hallway to the restroom, very small hallway. The restroom was there to the left, and then the walk-in shower, and then the other door was the door to the outdoor shower, which was the one I was mentioning that had all the bugs and just different stuff out there. That, I mean, for those that want to take outside showers, you can. It looks nice. It's cool for videos. I mean, if you're gonna do like a shampoo commercial or something. So we get to so while at the cabin, speaking of bugs, I had to kill about maybe 6 spiders when we got there. Jasmine was like looking in every corner to see if there was bugs, and she found them. Which I, my thought was like, don't look, and we should be good. But she found them. I had to kill him. So led up to this moment where she goes into the shower and she sees something, yells out, comes to me, and she comes to me and she's like, I know you've been killing all the bugs. I know you're tired, but you need to come. Like, you have to see this. I see this ginormous centipede right next to the toilet where she just used the restroom, and where I had to use the restroom too. But I was like, what? Like, what? Where did that come from? How did we not see that? Like, that could have just crawled on us. But it was pretty terrifying. So we get some rest the next day, which is Sunday. No, next day. So we get some rest. The next day, which is Saturday, we get a jump start on the day. We make our breakfast. I have to put gas. I was so hot putting gas. It was, for some reason, I guess we got started. I guess we didn't get started that early. It was like already starting to get hot. I think it was around 10 actually. It wasn't that early, but we got started, and it was so hot. I was putting that gas, and I was like, if the day's going to be this hot, then it's going to be a tough day. The itinerary was slated that we were going to do a hike at the Chisos Basin. We didn't know which hike we were going to do. We were just going to get up early, go over there, explore. We didn't want to like put an exact hike that we were going to do on paper, just because we kind of wanted to just leave it, again, wing it. We eventually get over there. It was beautiful. Like, driving in, we took some detours just to kind of look around, and we caught some really, really cool shots. But we get over to Chisos and we go to the center, the welcome center, and they say that the window trail, the main one, was no longer available for us to go on the hike. They say that people aren't supposed to start at a certain time. I think it was like afternoon or after 1 o'clock or something like that. And by the time we got over there, it was around that time. So we decided to do the Lost Mine Trail, which was like 5 minutes away from the Chisos Basin Center. And we had the best time. This was like one of the most sought out trails, but it was also really packed. People were already on the trail, so they were either coming down or like almost to the peak. So there wasn't that many parking spots. We got there, found a spot, we got started, but again, that heat had already like put its toll on my body, and I think on Jasmine's body too. I remember her saying that when we did the first maybe 10 minutes of that walk, if something about like the elevation or something about like our bodies just felt tired. Maybe it was the 2 days before of the travel and the hike and then the camp setup, and then the next day was just like getting beat up on the off-road trails, and then setting up our dinner and everything. Like, maybe our bodies weren't fully recovered, and that trail was already difficult. But we met some people along the way. They were a lot older than us, and they were very optimistic and so happy to be there. And we are like, what are we doing? We gotta keep going. We gotta finish this trail, get to the top, and just see what this peak looks like. And we will always remember this peak. This peak is so beautiful. I can't explain how amazing this spot was. So we're going up the trail. We're having to stop a lot because there's a lot of different spots to take photos. And we're like, we're not even at the top, and it looks so cool already. So we're excited going up. Jasmine eventually, I think she stepped in between two rocks, and she hurt her ankle, or no, her toe. She hurt her toe, felt like she couldn't go on any further. She said, just go on without me. So I did. I said, all right, see you later. I'm just kidding. So Jasmine decides to get all this energy because she sees the peak, and I was like behind her, just making sure that she doesn't fall, and that because some of these steps were pretty steep. We get to the peak, and she's like pretty almost running to a spot that she really likes. And I see her like climb over this rock, and from my vantage point, it looked like the rock that she went to, she jumped over, and there was just a big drop off right next to her. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, come back over here. Like, get away from there. Like, you're scaring me. and I was so scared. But I get to her. I walk over there because I'm taking pictures from my view, and I see that it's not as bad. If you miss a step there, it's not the end of your life. But I get on that rock, and it was just the most magical view. It was our last day there. We enjoyed the whole experience of the park, and we only got to experience just a little bit of it. I would say that this was like the cherry on top. Like, we got to the peak, we overcame adversity, we made some mistakes, we learned from that, but we did come prepared. We did come prepared with food. We did come prepared with supplies, and we booked things in advance before we got to the park. I will say that we learned a lot of things, and we learned that there's a lot to explore that we didn't get to, and we want to go back. So this is kind of the first video I want to make of Big Bend. I kind of want to do another, just maybe an off-road series of it, but we'll see. I want to keep photography and videography in the forefront. And please, guys, follow along. I want to make these videos because I want to get better with public speaking, and I want to get better at kind of just sharing my work. I have a lot of work that I've done, I'm very proud of, and I want to share it. I want to share all of what I do, because a lot of what I do is for people to hear stories, and I want to get better at storytelling. So, guys, if you have any tips for me, like, drop them down in the comments as well. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.